Hey guys, Chris Dunn here, aka the Boogie Man. It's been a year since I've seen you guys. Been a lot going on in the last year. We ain't posted no videos. We apologize for that. Just been moving and trying to make a living and just changing up our business structure and stuff like that. It's really just took a lot out of me and my time. But I've been really wanting to do videos again. I love the channel. I love all the 2,400 subscribers that we got. We appreciate y'all. Without y'all, we couldn't even do this. So be sure to tell your friends, like, subscribe, follow the channel. It's more than just fabrication, man. We've been no prep racing, which has been awesome in the gasser. Everywhere we go, people go crazy over the Boogie Man. I've been working on the Boogie Hauler, which is like our #1 viewed video. I want the world to see what all we've been doing to it. There's been 1,000 things done to it, it seems like, since the last video. So we're going to start 2024 off with the Boogie Hauler. Chris Dunn, aka the Boogie Man. Okay guys, what I've done right here is I basically took some 14 gauge cold finish material that we had, and I used 14 gauge because I cut all the firewall out. So I started fitting the firewall in, and of course I measured it so I knew how long to cut it, and because I wanted something really strong because I got to mount the master cylinders, the air conditioner and all that stuff to it. So in this picture, I broke the firewall and fitted it down the structure, which turned out pretty nice. The good thing is I cleat coated in so I could keep removing it, test fit it, grind it, put it back. I wanted it to be really, really strong. Like I said, weight's not a problem on this truck. We got a 12 valve pulling it. So 14 gauge was a better sense. It welds stronger. You don't have to put as much bracing in it. In this picture, you see the power brake booster in the master cylinder. I pulled all this power plant out of a 1993 Dodge D350 dually, and I wanted all the vacuum to match, being that it has a vacuum pump on the 12 valve. So what I've done is I actually ordered a new booster and master cylinder for that year truck, so the vacuum would match perfectly. And then I modified a pedal assembly, which I'll show in a minute, behind it to fit that and make that adjustable. I also put a steering column sleeve into the firewall, which I think I showed back in a few videos back. Basically, it's got a clamp system in it. It's welded on the inside, and I'll try to show some pictures of that on into some new videos pretty soon. The next thing that I done is I also used the clutch master cylinder off of a 1993 D350 truck. So basically, I ordered, a new master cylinder for the brake, booster, and the clutch master cylinder and slave cylinder kit, which was all put together, pre-bled. It was just a smart thing to do. I've got to mount it in this picture. I still got to mount it. But basically, I've got my firewall cleeked in. I've got my brakes kind of sort of figured out. I've got my master cylinder figured out. Now, I got to do my pedal assembly. So my next thing is my pedal assembly. Okay, here's the inside of the firewall, and this is the pedal assembly. Now, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but we've got a 56 Chevrolet 4-door body on the back of the property, and I just went and got the actual pedal assembly out of it and modified it. Basically, it was already a straight drive pedal assembly. So you can see what I've done is I've used the bracket itself. I lined up the brake. It worked perfect. It's got an adjustable rod. The stroke's just right. And I wanted the pedals to look old school, to fit the truck. I didn't want them to look all modern when, we've got a 1955 COE, and I'm just trying to keep it kind of old school. Well, then you can see I added a plate and a gusset to it to mount the master cylinder, and then I put a little rod out on the clutch pedal so it would actually push the hydraulic slave cylinder. It feels pretty good. I may have to rework the actual clutch pedal in the near future because I'm not 100% happy with it. It's a little too high. So maybe in some future videos I'll show you and I'll try to rework that because I need to sit in the vehicle and kind of get a feel if I need to move some pedals and what I need to do. Now that I got all that kind of figured out, I welded in the firewall, went ahead and epoxy primered it, and I cut my hole out for where I thought my engine may fit. Now I got to build a huge doghouse in here, kind of wrapping the engine. In fact, the throttle pedal itself will probably be mounted to the doghouse. It kind of wasn't the original configuration when it had a V8 Chevrolet in it, but I went ahead and epoxied the firewall, and I'll try to do that as much as I can just to protect it. So here you go. I've got it set down on the chassis. I've got it shimmed where I want it. And like I said, now it's epoxied. Now I can start figuring out, how I'm going to build my doghouse and, a million other things it's got going on. Now I kind of put the front end on, and I wanted to start trying to fit the radiator and kind of get a look-see to see what's going to hit, what ain't going to hit. So it started turning out pretty good, and it's starting to shape up. So I got the front end mounted, bolted on. I got the radiator kind of set in. I'm not happy where they have the radiator, so I think I'm gonna change all of that. It just sticks out and it's too much of an eyesore. So enjoy the next few pictures of it kind of mocked up. In these pictures, I just wanted to show some mocked up. I have to put things together and kind of study on it. So I got everything primed up, and I kind of brung it outside, and I wanted to get a good look at it, from the side. You just kind of, I've kind of always built hot rods that I got to look at them at every angle. Does it look cool? Does it sit right? Because stance, contrary to everybody's belief, is a lot to do with how good a vehicle looks. I mean, you can do the best work imaginable with amazing quality and get the stance off, and it just looks like, looks awful. So I kind of wanted to see, an idea of what's it going to look like, how's it going to sit, do I got enough room on the tires, and then, and I think it just turned out so cool, you know what I mean? I wanted to get a side view of it. What's the bed going to look like? I actually took this picture and I actually made a rendering on it so I could get an idea and start sketching up beds and coming up with designs that I may like. And, where am I going to go with this thing? I got to get it running, get the cab going, but then I got to build a bed and what do I want to do about a bed? Go from there. And then I hung the bumper and I'm like, does this bumper look good? This is the factory bumper. Is it tall enough? Does it fit the truck? I mean, and you just kind of, if you're building a hot rod, sometimes the hard part of building a hot rod is to sitting around thinking, looking, measuring. And, I wanted to see the bumper in a couple of different angles. I pretty much made my mind up. I'm going to add, 6 inches to the bumper to widen it up, bring it down, make that truck look meaner, from the front. So that's pretty much where we at. Well, guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's been so long since we got back to you. We're going to post more videos of the truck. We have a lot more done on the truck. We have a lot more pictures. We have a lot more, we'll have some videos. Hopefully you guys will get to actually, watch it run. So, stay tuned. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Follow, like. Be sure to follow our racing and go from there. Chris Dunn, a.k.a. the Boogeyman.